down there in Columbus, Ohio. The Buckeyes will have their spring game this coming Saturday, and one of the storylines we were all watching was Devin Brown versus Kyle McCord. All spring long, we're tracking the battle that's going on at the quarterback position. C.J. Stroud might be the first quarterback, might be the first pick taken in the NFL draft, so those are big shoes to fill. It's a Ferrari you're inheriting. Who's it going to be? Well, that race got a little bit less interesting, in the spring game at least, because Devin Brown getting surgery on a finger on his throwing hand. Nothing serious, not ideal, but he's out for the spring game. So, Kyle McCord, the stage is yours, man. The stage is yours to make a statement. In my mind, if Kyle McCord goes out there and just balls out, let's say he's looking efficient, multiple touchdowns, no picks, leads multiple scoring drives, I think this is the chance for Kyle McCord to make this thing unofficially, officially his. Like, it won't be announced to the public. Ryan Day is not going to come out after the spring game and say, number 6 is our quarterback. We're going to have to wait a while for that. But I think there will be a very good sense around the college football landscape, starting with the epicenter in Columbus, Ohio, that Kyle McCord will be QB1 for the Buckeyes if he puts on a show. Now, if he comes out there and looks a little bit lackluster, throws a couple picks, maybe only leads one scoring drive, looks inefficient, misses some layups in terms of, open throws, then you start to say, well, Devin Brown's coming back in the fall. Let's let this thing roll into fall camp. It'll be a good battle. We'll see. Kyle McCord didn't give any inspiration for us to feel like he's going to be the guy. Let's hope Devin Brown can bring some juice. We'll see how that shakes out. I think Kyle McCord, though, like I said, has a very real chance to unofficially, officially slam the door shut on this competition. Now, I said this yesterday as well. Just because Kyle McCord could unofficially, officially make himself that QB1 for Ohio State, that does not mean Devin Brown is hitting the portal. Does not mean that. Now, if Kyle McCord were to, and this is a whole other conversation we got to have, but if Kyle McCord were to look like he's going to be a 2-year guy as opposed to just a 1-year guy, meaning he has a good 2023, but probably needs another year to elevate his draft stock, and it's going to be his team again in 2024, then maybe we start having the Devin Brown portal conversation. But I just want to reassure you right now, if Kyle McCord goes out and balls out and makes it look like he's QB1, that does not mean you lose Devin Brown. So rest easy, Buckeye fans, knowing that. Now, we also got to talk about this in the spring game. Is the secondary for Ohio State in position to make some plays? I got more thoughts on that. I'll explain what I mean, but y'all make sure you subscribe. We talk ball here every single day. We appreciate you for it. Lock in with us. You found your home for all things college football. So thank you for that. Also, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at JD Pakel. Now, as I was saying, is the secondary looking like they're at least in position to make some plays? And if you remember back to last year, the secondary felt like at times it was the Achilles heel for why Ohio State didn't go on and play for a national title and accomplish all their goals and why they didn't beat Michigan and didn't beat Georgia. But it was never like Ohio State was just losing jump balls. It wasn't like they're one-on-one and the ball's up in the air and their DB has a chance to make a play and just doesn't come down with it. That wasn't the sentiment you left with whenever you watched Ohio State have these frustrating losses to Georgia and Michigan last year. What did you feel like? Man, that was a busted coverage. Man, they were out of position. Man, we were misaligned. I mean, we were at the game in Columbus where Cornelius Johnson is catching a pass, breaking one tackle, he's gone to the house. Or defensive back falls down, deep touchdown. It wasn't like he just got outplayed. It was you weren't in position. Now remember, Ohio State, that defensive back unit, they go against the best receiving corps in the country every single day at practice. Iron sharpens iron. What do they look like in the spring game? The thing I'm looking for, even if they lose the jump ball to insert stud wide receiver here, even if you do get, a highlight reel play on you, were you in position? Because if you're in position, that's the majority of the battle. That is 75% of the way there. Then it's just about finishing. And we can work with you if all you need to do is finish the play. Like finishing the play, we can work on that in the fall. We work on that during the summer. Like there's room for that. Are you in position to make plays? Because that means you know what you're doing. That means you're capable of being in the right place at the right time. That means you have good football instincts. All those things are the price of admission. And there were times last year, multiple times last year, where Ohio State probably has a different outcome to their season if that's not the case. Especially against Michigan, especially against Georgia. So are you in position to make plays for the secondary? Something to watch for if you're a Buckeye fan. Now, this is the beautiful part about spring football, man. We talked about the freshmen we're focusing on earlier in this live show. Spring football is all about the newbies. And the portal has supplied a little bit more new faces than we've seen in recent history in college football. But Ohio State, man, Columbus attracts talent. And there's a couple of guys that have really made some noise during spring camp. Carnell Tate being one of them. Lost his black stripe before Marvin Harrison Jr. did when he was a freshman. Not saying Carnell Tate's Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm just saying that's a good buzz to have about your freshman. How will he factor in the fall, man? I don't know, but I'm excited to see him get some run in the shoe. That'll be a whole lot of fun to see what 17 does. Jelani Thurman, he is a different beast. He's a tight end. He's also a freshman early enrollee, 6'6", 253 pounds. Y'all, that is a grown man, and he should still be in high school. People close to Ohio State say they haven't had a tight end like him in some time. He's a different genre of what they've had at tight end. I'm not saying Stover's not still tight end one, but I'm saying Jelani Thurman could be a mismatch chess piece for Ryan Day and for Ryan Hartline in that offense. So keep an eye on what they do during this spring football game. If they flash, great, but just see how they look and what groups they're running with. Should tell us a little bit of something. Now, defensively, like I was just saying, the secondary, they know they got to improve. Went to the portal. Two guys I really want to watch for in this spring game. One of them being Ole Miss or former Ole Miss cornerback, Davison Igbinosun. Been balling all camp. A guy they're excited about. A guy they think that can compete for them. Could play opposite Denzel Burke. And then Jahad Carter, the safety from Syracuse. Just what do they look like during the spring football game? Do they look up to speed in the complex defense that Jim Knowles calls? He's the mad scientist of college football. He likes to rock and roll with the safeties and the DBs and likes to play a complex look. How comfortable do they look in this sort of defense right now? These fresh faces, because here's the deal. You will go as far as your depth allows you to go. I've beat that drum all offseason long. I beat that drum all spring long. But these guys, some of them might be starters. The guys I mentioned on offense may or may not be starters. Those defensive guys, they'll contribute for you. We'll see where they play. But you're going to need you're going to need everybody. You need your whole entire roster. You also brought these new guys in. You're giving them the reps you're giving them right now for a reason, because you understand, hey, man, we got to get better. It's not acceptable to lose Michigan. It's not acceptable to not win the Big Ten and kind of be holding our breath here on Selection Sunday. Will we, won't we? That's not okay with us here at Ohio State. These guys are the ones that should be, in theory, guys to help you get over the hump. They may not be leading the charge. I'm not talking about Kyle McCord here. I'm not talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. here. I'm not talking about Emeka Egbuka here. Those guys are your front runners. Those are your thoroughbreds. The guys that are helping lift the floor of the operation. Guys that are new to the program, that are trying to buy in. Those are the guys that create depth and help you get over the hump. As for Ohio State, man, the standard is the standard. Nobody is saying you've lost to Michigan twice. Well, let's recalibrate that. Let's see what our expectations are right now. Nobody's saying that. They expect greatness in Columbus, and they recruit accordingly at the high school level and in the portal. So we'll lock in for that one. But Kyle McCord at the quarterback battle, secondary being in a position to make plays, and the new faces adding in to what Ohio State already does really well. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.